Welcome back to another episode of Talking Trash. This is your host Mihir, and this week on the podcast we've got Dhruv. He's an old friend of mine from school, and our topic for this week is the rise of Desi hip-hop. If you've been enjoying these podcasts, it would mean the world to me if you leave a like. Make sure you follow the podcast for notifications when we release new episodes. And now, to the podcast. So, welcome to the podcast, guys. This is Talking Trash with Mihir, and today I've got Dhruv Seth with me today. He is an old friend from, well, not from school, but we used to go to the same tuitions. So, welcome, Dhruv. How are you?
Hi, thanks, man. Thanks for having me. I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm good, bro. I've just had dinner, so I'm actually quite full.
Oh, that's fine. I'm also stuffed with my lunch.
Yeah. So, Dhruv, do you want to go over a little bit about how we've been friends? So, usually, you know how people overseas, they don't really go to tuitions, do they? So,
okay. So it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll explain a little bit.
Okay, you
It's
go.
like a bit of an extra class that you do after school, and that's where me and Mihir met at a tuition of chemistry, if I'm not wrong. That's how we first met, and then we kind of knew each other, and then little over the time our friendship started, and then Mihir pitched in the idea for me to join in the podcast, and I suggested like I'll go with some topic that's thing, but it's not spread. Like people are still not aware about it, but that's happening in India. So he was like, okay, like we'll go with this. We'll go with this thing, and let's see how the conversation starts. So basically, I pitched the idea, and Mir said, like, let's go.
Yeah, because essentially I'll talk about anything that I can do a little bit of research on, and we're talking about Desi hip hop today.
Yep, and it's my new thing.
Yeah. So, how did you come across Desi hip hop, bro?
So basically, see, everyone in the life has heard those amplified track, right? That's Desi hip hop.
Yeah.
And everyone, I think every 90s kid had heard that. So for me, it was the thing, but I didn't knew back then it was Desi hip hop.
Yeah.
Then another thing that got me hooked was this raftaar track with Man's music. And then little over the time, I started listening to some stuff. The main thing that got me into this was Divine's track in Indian Netflix original series, Sacred Games. The track was Calm Purchase. After that, I was totally into this.
Absolutely love it. Calm Purchase. I was just listening to it this morning. I went out for a little walk.
That track is so dope. That track is so dope.
It is fire, bro.
Yeah. And then Divine's voice and everything that got me into the Desi hip hop. Then I started discovering other artists and stuff. And then, the whole thing happened, the gullyboy and all. So more rappers came into limelight, and then I got to know more. Basically, I was tired of this remakes and stuff by Tony Kakkar. To be very honest.
Right.
I won't lie.
Yeah.
So I wanted some lyrics, Music beats matter. Hello?
Yeah, I can still hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So you were saying about music beats mattering.
Yeah, so music beats matter to me, and the lyrics too, because hip hop is all about lyrics, man. You can't just say that music is good, so I'm listening to it. It's all about lyrics, man. So
yeah,
I like that thing.
I agree, but to be completely honest, I think when I first listened to something, say for example, let's just go with Calm Purchase, right?
Okay.
Calm Purchase. I think when you first start listening to the music, if you're not into the music, you're not gonna go and listen to the song. I think that's what I find myself doing a lot of the time, which is why I've heard quite a lot of really, really good songs, because I didn't like how the music was made. But when you go into the lyrics and stuff, it is actually quite good. So again, unless I like the music, I don't go listen to the lyrics as closely as like you say you do. So again, I don't know. I think Calm Purchase was one of the songs that got me into Desi hip hop as well. But I think back in the day, like you said, Amplify was one. The other one was Blue Eyes with Yo-Yo Honey Singh.
Yeah, man. Blue Eyes, Brown Rang, all the songs, old Honey Singh songs.
I think your
They're dope.
thing made Desi hip hop like popular in
Yeah,
those, because
yeah.
it wasn't as popular until Yo Yo Honey Singh came around, was it?
No, it wasn't. See, the thing was, it all started with Bohemia. If you know, he's a
Uh-huh.
He's a Canadian guy, means
Yeah.
Punjabi with Canadian
Mm-hmm.
base, and like
Bohemia. Yeah.
he started everything. Basically, he was the first guy to introduce DHH in India. So
Yeah.
he started everything. But the
Yeah.
thing was, he was limited because he used Punjabi and like
Mm.
all over India, Punjabi is not the main language. So
Yeah.
people won't understand the thing.
Mm.
And then this Honey Singh and all came into the scene, and he started in Hindi, and then Bollywood liked his song, and he got it. So Honey Singh was the main influence for everyone.
Yeah. And I think after Honey Singh, he kind of disappeared a little bit, didn't he? And we didn't really
Yeah,
into a lot of hip hop until almost until Gully Boy came out, right? Because that's when
yeah,
I
yeah.
really got into hip hop. When Gully Boy came out and Ranveer Singh did his Apna Time Aayega and Mere Gully Mein and all that sort of stuff. Because
Yeah,
I've got like a playlist on Spotify which is purely just Desi hip hop music, like none of the other
that's
like Kal Ho Na Ho and all that stuff. It is purely Desi hip hop. I've got Raftaar, I've got Gambari, I've got a bit of Gully Boy songs as well. I've got Nazy, I've got who else do I have? I've got a little bit of Bacha and I've got a little bit of Yo-Yo Honey Singh, but mainly like the up and coming rappers. I've also got Raja Kumari. I think Raja Kumari is highly underrated.
Raja Kumar is dope. Yes, she is. If you don't know, she is an Emmy-nominated writer. Raja
Yeah.
Kumar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the song, but she is Emmy-nominated.
Yeah, and I only recently got into listening to Raja Kumari though. Have you heard the City Slums?
Yep, I heard City Slum, her latest track NRI. I
was
liked her
just
track
listening
with
to
Shah
NRI.
Rule. That was the best. It recently
what-
dropped like within a week. I guess.
What's that?
I was saying that her NRI just came like a week ago.
Yeah, I was just listening to it this morning. This is the first time I heard it, and I related to the lyrics so much, bro. It's like essentially you're kind of stuck in the middle, and then you're like, are you like Indian? Are you like non-Indian? Who like you're kind of in the middle, and you don't know what you're doing, sort of thing.
And if you don't know, that was also the story of Honey Singh. Like he did it. Yeah, he did it in England, but they were like, "You are more Indian." And when he tried in India, they were like, "Your accent is English, so you can't do it." Then he started on his own. So that was basically his journey too.
Yeah. I don't know what the whole story with Honey Singh is though, because I didn't know he was like he went to England and stuff.
Yeah, he had some influence. Like he studied there. I think he made music outside India, but they denied it because he was Indian. That was the thing. Not very sure though, but basically this was the thing.
Nice. But yeah, like okay, let's just go. Let's just have like a quick fire. So what's your favorite song at this point? Like right now?
At this point, there are a couple of songs that I like, and like keeping apart those diss tracks and stuff, I like a rapper named Karma. He is signed under Kalamkar, and his new EP is super awesome.
Right.
And I have this track called Kuch To Log Kahenge that I liked recently.
Right. I'll have to listen to it because I haven't heard of him before.
Yeah.
And what's the other one?
Hello. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. So what's the other one that you were talking about?
There are a couple of artists that I'm listening to currently. There is this guy Mufa Draga. Then there are some Pakistani rappers, Tala Yunus, Talanjum, Rap Demons. Those guys are like pretty heavy. I love it.
Yeah.
And also that one.
Yeah, I mean,
I shared with you, Baldi and I. That is like one of my favorite.
I really. Yeah. It was good. It was. I think I've only heard it once, though. I think I might have to hear it again to kind of really enjoy the music because I was, like you said, because when you said like the lyrics are really, really good, I was only focusing on the lyrics. I wasn't actually focusing on the music. So I think I'll have to go back and listen to it again.
Yes, yes, definitely. There is this thing also, this
Yeah.
producers that India has. They are like super fire. Those beats, man. Love some beats, you know.
I know. Have you heard Ganpati? I think who did Ganpati? I think
By Kambhari.
Oh, I forgot.
By Kambhari.
Yeah,
Yeah, I heard.
man, I was it's so good.
Yes, yes.
I really, really like it.
Love that.
I think Kambhari is coming like one of the big like I think he's gonna be like the next Raftaar and Badshah.
He is gonna be a big thing. He is 20 at the moment, so he has a long way to go.
I know, and he's already done Sacred Games, which is quite nice. Eh?
Yes.
Like I'm like, man, he's gonna go far.
There's also this one track with Ranveer Singh and 4 other rappers, and it was for a brand, I guess. So he was also featured in that. That track was also very nice.
Oh, okay, which one? Which one?
I can't remember the name. It's like Ranveer Singh featuring 4 other artists.
Okay, I'll look it up and I'll see if I can actually include it into the podcast as well, so that the people listening can also listen to it. Yeah. But again, like I think Desi hip hop has come a long way, especially after Gully Boy. Gully Boy paved the way.
Yes, yes. Like many people started rapping and stuff and started uploading it on YouTube or Instagram or whatever the social media apps they use. But it influenced a lot of people.
Yeah. I think also it's after Gully Boy because they feel like now that it's become like a mainstream sort of thing. Now they feel like they're more supported as well. I think more production companies are also looking towards like signing other like rappers and stuff.
And definitely, like they are going to be a big thing, you know. In the future, I'm sure that those collabs with Bollywood movies and stuff, they're also going to come, and that will also influence. Next 2 to 3 years, there will be like super growing years for DHH.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Look at what Badshah has done, though. Like he came in from essentially nowhere.
Yeah.
I think I like his music more than his lyrics. But again, like he's coming from like the era of Honey Singh. He was essentially the one who took over Honey Singh, and he's gone. He's kind of taken it up a notch as well. So Honey Singh was like 100%, and Badshah now is sitting at like 250% at this point in time.
Yes, you're definitely right. And the one thing is that Badshah gets featured in Bollywood movies for basically his party tracks and stuff. But there is this album with Sony Music that dropped last year. Go and give it a check.
Right.
That has.
I will. What's it called?
Interstellar or something like that, if I'm not wrong. Badshah's album is this.
Oh, I think I've heard one of the songs. I don't remember it though. But I think like you said, Badshah, because he does a lot of Bollywood movies, and because I watch a lot of Bollywood movies, I've only heard of him in like his mainstream songs or in essentially Bollywood movies and party songs that he does. So when Genda Fool came out, I was so concerned that he's remade the Genda Fool from Delhi 6. And I was like, if he's done it, I'm not going to watch it ever again.
No. But
luckily, it wasn't that. I think it was still a remake of some other Bengali folk song or something.
Folk song he remade, but he got criticized because he didn't give the credit. That was the thing going on.
So he did what?
So basically, you can remake a folk song. Okay. Any folk song, any part of India, you can remake, and you can't give credit if you don't want, and there is not a problem. But some people, the writer who wrote the song, afterwards came out when it got hit that he has written it and nobody gave him any credits for it.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough, though. Like imagine you doing all the hard work, and then someone comes in and makes some tweaks, and then he goes crazy viral.
I also think like because it got famous, and that track Genda Fool got famous because of Badshah, that he came out or his story came out, because that track was remade in Bengali a couple more times than Badshah did it. So.
Oh, okay.
Like
right.
Everything, you know.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a little bit of politics in there as well, but we won't get into that.
Let's leave that. Let's leave that.
Let's just leave it. Let's just leave that alone. I don't think we really want to go into politics here.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I think the other thing I'm actually concerned about is with the rise of hip hop. I think a lot of people are also becoming slightly more relaxed in the terms of copying music and stuff. With the two most recent remixes actually three most remixes that they've made. One of them being Das Bahane 2.0, which I absolutely hated. It was trash.
And the worst was Masakali 2.0.
I was just about to say that was the other one I hated. Masakali 2.0 has lost all meaning. Like the whole point of Masakali was based on the butterfly. Sorry, not butterfly. It was based on the pigeon, right? That was the point of Masakali. And I think A.R. Rahman came out and also was talking about how he spent a year with his team coming up with the composition, with the music to make sure it fits the song and fits the context of the movie. And then Tanish Bakshi has gone ahead and he's kind of just tweaked the music. He's changed the whole lyrics except keeping the music and like the main hook of the song and made it so unbearable.
Yeah.
I can't watch it. I can't listen to it anymore.
It's not the first time A.R. Rahman came out for his song. It happened previously also, like A.R. Rahman tweeted about his song being remade by Bollywood. This is not the first time.
Which other person they remade?
I'm not sure, but this was his second song that he came out for. One another song was remade by Tanish Bakshi, I guess.
It's not Chaiya. I hope they haven't remade Chaiya yet.
Oh,
they don't.
Going to. Don't worry.
I know. It's just something I'm more concerned about because Chaiya is like evergreen. Like you can't not listen to Chaiya and like just imagine Shah Rukh Khan just shaking his head on the train, right?
Like that whole scene is live in front of us on some stage, but you can't understand.
I know. There are so many songs. I'm so scared that Bollywood T-Series is going to remake and completely butcher. I think one of the other ones is Kal Ho Na Ho. I have a very bad feeling that they're going to go ahead and do that.
They might. You never know. They are like a giant now. So nobody is going to think that.
I know.
Not an individual art.
I know. Yeah. I don't think anyone is going to stand up to them. That's the thing. Because they're so big and because they're so powerful, I don't think anyone's going to stand up to T-Series.
Actually, some guy.
I think the only one who could stand up was PewDiePie, and PewDiePie has now been left behind as well.
Hello? Yeah.
Can you hear me?
It got disconnected. Sorry.
Oh, sorry guys. We're having technical difficulties, but I think the recording should come through.
So yeah, PewDiePie stood up to him, but Indian YouTubers and some people made it Indian thing and culture thing and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think eventually PewDiePie was just fun with it. But then after like it got into really, really big news, I think then it came against India versus PewDiePie sort of thing. And then you just lose all meaning with it, right? Like T-Series doesn't care. They're making millions of dollars, bro. Like they don't give a shit.
They are dropping 2 to 3 songs daily and some dialogue promos from movie and stuff. So they don't really care about what PewDiePie is doing. It's the audience that really matters.
I know. Now, T-Series made Swag Se Swagat, right? Like from Tiger Zinda Hai. No. Tiger Zinda Hai. They released that track on YouTube and I think it's garnered over 600 million views. None of PewDiePie's videos have made 600 million views though. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. With one track, they made 600 million views. Imagine how big is that?
Definitely, man. See, these series are like not only earning from YouTube, they're earning from movies, the songs sell to other apps. So they don't move to PewDiePie, they don't care. But
and also earning from people who make reaction videos. Definitely. So people like Jabby Cohen, our stupid reactions and stuff. Now, I don't know how big you're into reaction videos, but I follow 2 major ones. which is Jabikoe and Our Stupid Reactions. Those two reaction channels have actually popped up really, really big. Like they've made quite a few reactions and like all that sort of thing towards India specifically.
Okay.
And I think they've also noticed that with T Series, every time they release something, T Series just goes ahead and blocks them straight away. They don't even
You can't
publish
even
them
use
all.
a song for like 2 to 3 seconds. You get a copyright strike right away.
Yeah.
Right away.
Yeah, they just copy strike and ask you, to take it down, or they take down the whole because oftentimes what happens is like the smaller channels go under the radar, but as soon as you get to like 200,000, 300,000 subscribers, you get noticed as much as well.
Yeah. Even
Because I've seen other smaller YouTube reaction video channels who have posted like the whole videos and they don't really have a major issue with them. But as soon as you get like big, then you start getting those copyright strikes and stuff, because I don't think YouTube is too worried about the smaller YouTube channels. I don't think the algorithm shows.
See, the biggest proof is recently T-Series copied 2 songs from independent artists. They uploaded it before.
Who did?
T-Series copied the whole song. There's this guy named Ritwik. He's like a DJ. If you were following AIB, you would know that his track Woodbay came out and it got super popular. After that, he got really famous and made some tracks, and they are dope. If you have time, do listen to him. He's a very nice artist. So this song of this that they copied, T-Series copied and put it in the movie Pati Patni Aur Wo. And then there's just another foreign artist, and he made a song titled "Do You Love Me?" that was copied in Baghi 3, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, that was a Baghi 3 movie.
Oh,
that song.
Right. I heard about that song being remade. Yeah.
Those things were done without the consent of artists. They just blatantly copied the thing.
Yeah. And to be perfectly honest, I think isn't that how T Series started though?
I guess back in the day they were still promoting artists and stuff, but then it's like a family history if you want to go and take that grave up.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, but I think what I'm trying to say is I think T Series, when they initially started, when they first started, before they got big, I think they used to sell pirated DVDs and music and stuff.
I have no idea about that.
I think that's what I've heard. I'm not sure how true this is though, but that's what I've heard from a lot of people.
I don't know. I think they are just like the record labels back in the day, just giving chance to some artists and to make the albums and stuff.
Yeah, but anyway, coming back to Desi hip hop, I think we're just digressing a little bit. But coming back to Desi hip hop, that's okay. I think this is why the podcast is on, because sometimes we can digress. Sometimes we'll eventually come back to what the point was. So anyway, tell me about what you think Desi hip hop is going to be like in the next 2-3 years. Do you think it's going to still be in the same place, or is it going to be where else is it going to go?
I guess it's going pretty big. Divine is currently signed under the label Mass Appeal India, and Nas is co-signed on that record label with Divine. So that is a very big thing for THH. Nas is a legend in the game, and I think it's going to grow because some international collaborations are on their way. I'm pretty sure about that, because we have very very dope writers, artists in DHH. I think from collabs and all the buzz around the thing, it's going to escalate. It's not going down. People are gonna know about this,
and I hope it does.
Thing is, like, you can get whatever you want. All the tracks are there. If you want lo-fi is there, trap is there, some guy with English verses and stuff. You got Brodhavi, you got Khasi Bloods from Northeast. So there are all kinds of rappers now. So they are not going back.
Yeah, I know. And so we haven't actually mentioned Brother V a whole lot in this podcast, but can we just give him a
Sure.
special mention? Brother V, with his, I think one I really enjoy, he's done with
Yeah.
Raftaar, with Nachne Ka Shauq. I really, really like
That
that
song is
song.
really that song is really nice. I like
It is fire. It is absolute
yeah.
fire, bro. And the other one is actually the one they did a collaboration with
Jordan. Yep.
Jordanian, Vinco.
That song is fun.
I know it's funny. I know it's supposed to be funny and stuff, but I really, really like the music.
The music is nice.
I didn't. Yeah.
The music is really.
I agree. I think Brother V is one of those pop stars who's gonna like pop all of a sudden, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, I was hearing him before he got famous and everything," but you know, like people like that just come around eventually, and I think he'll be like I said, with Kambari, he's gonna be one of the other ones that come up and get into Bollywood and stuff.
Yes, definitely. Brother V is an artist. Is an artist who has given 10 years to the game. He's like. Some artists used to battle it out on Orkut, and back in the day in 2006 when Orkut was a thing, they used to do rap battles on Orkut by texting the lyrics and stuff, the bars, and battle over there. And after that, they did Cypher and stuff in 2009, 2010. And there's some of the guys used to do club show back in the day, like a rapper named Krishna. He's signed Kalamcast. He's given about 12 to 14 years to this game, man. So like they are getting recognition now. And
but can we just digress for 1 second, and can we just say Orkut was something that was so popular in 2006, and now there's nothing like that. It's almost just completely wiped out of our memories.
The thing, like Facebook.
Can we give a recipe for Orkut? This is us just taking a moment of silence for Orkut. So Orkut was actually officially gone from 2006 because no one else cared for it.
That was really nice. Good times.
But yeah, okay, coming back to the point, because I think if we start talking about Facebook and Orkut, it's just I could just go on and on and on about how Facebook kind of killed Orkut and all that. So that's an episode for another season, another episode.
Probably.
But so you were saying something?
Yeah, I was saying that those guys came from that. Just imagine like battling out in Orkut and doing club show in 2009, 2010, when pretty much nobody knew about Desi hip hop is a thing, and then grinding all these years, like doing side hustling and then saving money to record the stuff, coming all this year. And now they are finally getting recognition. So that's a big thing for them.
Absolutely. Can we also mention emiway? I think you haven't mentioned emiway, bro.
Okay, so there's this personal little thing. I don't like him that much. I respect the artist, but
okay, why is it so personal?
See, it's like all about respect and stuff, Eventually, the Gullyboy got a hype because the beef between Raftaar and emiway started. So it really heated up the things. But if you compare the lyrics and stuff, Raftaar overpowered it. But the people liked his beats. His producer Tony James, shout out to that guy. It's like super dope. And but Emi came out with everything, He and psyched and stuff, and then Gullyboy dropped, and then a whole lot of things happened. But things like if a rapper says something on his track, I think he got to follow it up. And I think Emi doesn't do that. So I don't like him that much. It's a personal opinion.
Fair enough. Like, you got your own choices. Personally, I've listened to emiway and I only just only rate him from his songs. I don't know how he's like a person, or I haven't really done a lot of research on him. But from what I listen to him in his songs, I enjoy him and I enjoy his songs and stuff. So if I had to rate emiway, he's not like the best, but I don't think he's like horrible either. I think he's just doing really, really well for himself, and he's independent, right? He hasn't signed with anyone.
Yeah, he hasn't signed any. But in the beginning, he went to a couple of record labels, but they said no, we can't sign you and stuff. So he started his own hustle, and I respect for his hustle, no doubt, man. But I do believe that there are many great artists apart from emiway. Like you listen to emiway, I have no problem, but I would suggest like listen to him. But once a day, give chance to another VHS guy who's underrated. There are so many good guys with best lyrics who can like outsmart emiway on the track and stuff, but they are still not recognized. So I
It's funny you say that because I think I've got an analogy for this as well. Because do you watch a lot of wrestling? So it's sort of like WWE, right? There's like the big company that looks after everything. It's like an umbrella. So all the wrestlers come under WWE, say for example. Not everyone is going to get used as well.
You can see.
So the ones you listen to are being pushed by the company. The ones you're seeing on TV are pushed by the company. Roman Reigns, John Cena, Drew McIntyre, all those sort of people, right? The other ones who go under the radar have to really push hard and some develop some sort of kind of hustle or some sort of like something that can get them into the limelight. Like R-Truth. Now I don't know how closely you've been following WWE.
When 2010, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And was quite
yeah. So he got the 24/7. So I don't know if you're aware, he's got a 24/7 champion that he made famous, which was a horrible belt. It was completely awful when it first got released, but because it was R-Truth and because he paid so much, he put in so much effort. I think he's made it one of the most not one of the most popular belts in WWE, and that's what I'm saying. You've got a lot of rappers in the game. You can only listen to so many that are being pushed. But then again, there's once in a blue moon, like there's some rapper going to come out who doesn't have a lot of backing and goes completely to the moon. Like he blows the roof off sort of thing.
Definitely.
Anyway, do you want to discuss any other rappers though? Because I think that's all the rappers I know. What are the other things that you want to discuss for Desi hip hop?
Desi hip hop. I want to just say a couple more things. Like, if you're interested, like there are a couple of genres, then there is this guy named 47. Just listen to his track. It's like you chilling with your boys in Gandhinagar and stuff. The kind of slang you use while talking. They puts it into songs and give it to you like in a really nice way. So that guy is doing an amazing stuff.
Nice.
He's basically based from Delhi, so he uses his Delhi slangs in a song and compiles it with day-to-day life and stuff, and then give it to you. So that guy is doing an amazing job, and those kind of guy, if you like listening to, they are nice. And there is this guy named Bali. He is also from Delhi. He makes tracks and they are funny. He comes up with a situation and then makes it strike all around stuff. And like that's so nice and funny, and you can enjoy it. Like, you can bang your speakers in the car and have the good lyrics, good beats at the same time. And there are
absolutely
a couple of artists where like their writing skills are really high. I'm definitely 100% sure if you give it one listen, you won't understand the whole track. I'm sure about that. There are some artists too. Krishna is one of them. Mufad is one of them. Karma. There are some good rappers. You can give it a try.
And I will. I think what I might get you to do is just ask you to send me some of the songs that you want me to listen to, and I will listen to them as soon as I get the chance.
Definitely. I'm ready to do that.
So just send them through, and I'll listen to them tonight. If you can send it to me in the next half an hour, I'll listen to them before it goes to sleep.
Sure. I'll send it to you. I'll send some of the best, and you can explore it on your own. I don't mind.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like again, I do like listening to a lot of mainstream music, but if I get interested in some of the other rappers that you're gonna sing to me, I think it's just expanding my kind of taste in music as well.
That's right. That's right. Like you need to give everything a chance. Like whatever.
Yeah, and music is universal. I can recommend it to a lot of other people I know over here as well, because again, I think if the lyrics they may not understand, but I think if the beat is nice, then I think they'll be able to appreciate the music as well. So not everything is lyrics, but
music.
I'd say lyrics and 40% music is what I'd be looking. I know this, but you know what's funny? Despacito wasn't as popular until Justin Bieber remade it.
Kind of, yes. Like I have lost the track because I was in China, so I was like cut off from the world. What's happening? I just listened to track and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think with Despacito, it only got the popularity it got once Justin Bieber was involved in the remix. Because the one that got popular was the remix version. It wasn't the one with just Luis Fonsi. Because I don't know how many people have gone back and listened to just Despacito. Because the one that Justin Bieber remade was the one that got extremely popular because it's Justin Bieber.
But I think the original track has now more than a couple billion streams without Justin Bieber in it, if I'm not wrong. That song did blew up.
Oh, it would now, because it's how long has it been? It's been 2 years since that song, right?
Couple of years.
I think I think it's been a couple of years since the song. So what I would assume would have happened was Despacito with the remix got big, and then people found out that it was a remix, so they must have gone back and listened to the original one.
Yep,
that's what I would, because that's what happens when I listen to a remade song. So when Das Bahane came out, right? I listened to the shit that Das Bahane 2.0 was, and then I was like, no, I hate it, absolutely hate it. So I went back and listened to the original, which was 10 times better.
You can't compare those two songs, man. Come on, you can't compare. No comparison at all. That's trash.
The reason I'm comparing is because it's a bit of nostalgia as well.
Like we used to grow on the songs.
Absolutely. Like, I think Das Bahane was one of the most popular songs I've heard throughout my childhood.
Anywhere, like because in parties and everywhere, everywhere you go, birthday parties or other parties and stuff, this is a song they will play, and everyone's on the stage and stuff.
Because I wouldn't know. I was in New Zealand when Das came out in 2006, I think. So I watched it. I watched it in New Zealand, and you know how I watched it? I didn't go to the theater. We used to have a VCR player at home, and we used to get. I think every Friday we used to go to one of the places that used to like get VCRs in Bollywood movies and stuff. And I used to go and get one of those and bring it home and watch it at home. That's how I watch my Bollywood movies from 2003 to 2007. Okay. So 4 years. Every Friday would go get a movie. I'd go with my dad and get a movie, come back and watch it at home on Friday night.
That's so nice.
That was my Friday night for 4 years.
Usually, I started watching movies after getting into college. I used to watch, but not that much before that. But still watch a couple of movies,
Yeah, I mean,
movies once a month or stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, because the studying system in New Zealand and in India is so different. Because for the first major difference is, in India, we still go to school on a Saturday, right? Like, no one's going to go to school on a Saturday over here.
Definitely, nobody.
Yeah, because we've got a weekend, right? So Saturday, Sunday are holidays, and oftentimes what would happen is, if it's a public holiday and it's falling on a Sunday or a Saturday, like over the weekend, it'll get pushed back. Okay? So Monday you'll have a public holiday. So you get a long weekend. So you've got Friday, you've got half a day essentially, because once you're back from school at around 3:00, so after 3, you've got half a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So you've got essentially 3.5 days of doing nothing. And oftentimes you wouldn't have homework on the weekend because you would have finished it early. So then you're just sitting at home doing nothing for 3.5 days. So you go watch a movie, and then you go watch Pokemon and stuff
Oh man, that
on the
was so
weekend.
bad. I just hope
I know.
wish those days were in India so I could enjoy more, because here it's like studies are the main thing, they prioritize over everything.
I know. And it's still the same. I think
It will take time.
students are under a lot of pressure to get good grades, and I will never understand that, because as a student, yes, I do understand the importance of knowledge, but I think knowledge and studying in grades are completely different. They're two different things. You can still have knowledge without actually studying or having good grades, because knowledge is something that you understand the concept of. Grades is just something that's kind of given to you for being able to expel information that you've been taught.
That's right. Actually, but I don't think like anytime soon our education system in India is going to change. But can't say about the future.
I highly doubt that it's going to change, but I think it should. I think there needs to be a change.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully,
definitely
it would
change. Hopefully, in next 10 to 15 years.
Absolutely.
Let's see.
I really think that it should be in the next 5 years. I think the Prime Minister, I don't want to say the name because everyone knows who he is, but the Prime Minister really needs to take initiative into changing the schooling system, because with the way everything's going, children like 5-year-olds, right? Like 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds are under a lot of pressure to get good grades. Bro, like there's competition in getting into a kindergarten. Like how dumb is that?
Exactly. There's interview grades for that also. What is like 4-year or 5-year-old going to answer you? And then on this, you're going to decide
I know.
we go to kindergarten or not. That's stupid.
But that's the thing. Like, what is the point of sending a child for a competition to get into a kindergarten where then they're going to teach you how to study? Like, you could just as well do it at home.
Yes, that's the thing. And for those kind of kindergartens and stuff, the fees are also so high. Like an average kid can't afford it.
It's honestly, I'd rather just stay at home and chill and just like play games and like learn how to walk and all that sort of thing. Because learning how to walk is like the first 2 years of your life. But
I got
you know what I mean, right? Like, excuse me. I don't have COVID. I'm just coughing because my throat got dry.
Sorry.
So I think it's just really annoying to me that oftentimes students are put under a lot of pressure just because the parents want them to have good grades.
Yep.
And I think it's really, really important for parents that good grades aren't the only
thing. I think like the 90s kids, and when they come to the parenting stuff, our generation is going to understand this point, and I hope at that time this education system will be nice also. But considering our parents,
I would hope so.
I guess that's what they see, and that's what they were trying to teach us as kids. And you know what I'm trying to say? Hopefully in the future will be nice.
I agree. And I agree with you in that point that, when our parents were brought up, their situation was different, and they're only teaching us what they know or they've known. So there's no way that they can kind of know what is it,
what's going to happen.
Yeah. And I think they were also brought up with a safety mentality that, you gotta get a safe job, you gotta earn money, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you have to do this at a specific time. But I think now that has changed into more flexible options of you can study if you want, you can do this, you can do this.
Now it's changing according to the thing that whatever you feel your vibe is, whatever you feel you can chill and do your work and grind at the same time, you do that thing. Now I think now is the time when people can switch to this.
And I agree with that, but to an extent, because I think the other thing is you have to try something to know whether or not you like it and whether or not you're good at it. Because that's something I learned from Gary Vaynerchuk. Now, I don't want to get too much into like the entrepreneurship and stuff, but essentially, from what I've been hearing from him in the last about a year or so, is you have to try things to really understand what you like and what you don't like, because oftentimes you might assume that you like something until you've tried it, and you might then understand that no, you don't like it as much as you thought you did, and then you want to do something else. So you might eventually end up doing something that you hadn't thought that you would like, but you really, really enjoy it and are passionate about it once you've actually start doing it.
That's right. Like technically in speaking and stuff, that's actually that's what it's the way like things will go. How he has described it. You know, like, you can't possibly know what it takes to do a certain thing without trying it. You can just imagine.
Exactly. And I think because Indian parents aren't brought up on that kind of thinking, it's hard for them to grasp when someone says, "Oh, I want to be a photographer," or "Oh, I want to be like an actor or like a musician or something," because it doesn't like the preconceived career choices that they have, because what they were brought up with is like lawyers, doctors, engineers, computer scientists, IT people.
Like now in this age and day of social media, you know, like our exposure is wide. We can see what's happening all over the world, and like we can get idea how we can convert our passion into our earning source and stuff. So things are changing, you know.
I know, bro. Think of TikTok, right? Like people on TikTok and like on Vine 6 years ago, right? Vine is six. I think it died 6 years ago. But
6 years ago,
imagine those people have gone. I know, but like those videos were about 6 seconds long, right? So those people have gone from Vines to Musically to TikTok, and look how far they've come. Like they're popular, like super crazy popular, right? And they're getting ads and they're making thousands and millions of dollars doing TikTok and all ads and stuff. So it's not like you can't make money off of it. It's just you have to be really passionate about what you want to do. And this is now a possibility, especially with India having more internet speed and more accessibility as well. Can you hear me? It looks like Dhruv's internet has gone kaput. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to end the podcast here. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please recommend it to your friends and family. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Talking Trash, the greatest ever podcast that anyone has ever made.